The relationship between Christians and the mainstream media has long been a contentious one, with many believers expressing skepticism and distrust towards the motivations of major news outlets. This distrust is not unwarranted, as there are several reasons why Christians cannot trust the motivations of the mainstream media. First and foremost, the mainstream media has a proven track record of bias against Christianity. Studies have shown that the majority of journalists and media personalities identify as liberal or progressive, and this worldview often leads to a dismissive or hostile attitude towards Christian values and principles. As a result, Christian perspectives and viewpoints are frequently marginalized or excluded from public discourse, while secular and liberal agendas are promoted and amplified. This bias is evident in the way that Christian leaders and organizations are often portrayed in the media, with their words and actions being taken out of context or misrepresented to fit a predetermined narrative. Another reason why Christians cannot trust the motivations of the mainstream media is the lack of understanding and respect for Christian beliefs and practices. Many journalists and media personalities have a limited or inaccurate understanding of Christianity, and this ignorance can lead to misrepresentation and ridicule. For example, the media often refers to Christian beliefs and practices as old-fashioned or intolerant, without taking the time to understand the underlying values and principles that shape the Christian worldview. This lack of understanding and respect can lead to a perpetuation of negative stereotypes and misconceptions about Christianity, which can be damaging to the faith and its adherents. The mainstream media's obsession with controversy and sensationalism is also a major concern for Christians. In order to attract viewers and boost ratings, the media often focuses on stories that are provocative or inflammatory, rather than those that are balanced and informative. This can lead to a distorted portrayal of Christianity, with the media highlighting extreme or anomalous examples of Christian behavior while ignoring the many positive and uplifting stories of faith and service that exist. Furthermore, the media's emphasis on controversy and sensationalism can create a culture of outrage and division, where Christians are pitted against each other and against the wider culture. In addition to these concerns, the mainstream media's financial and ideological ties to powerful interests can also undermine its credibility and trustworthiness. Many major media outlets are owned and controlled by large corporations or wealthy individuals who have a vested interest in promoting certain ideologies or agendas. This can lead to a form of propaganda or advocacy journalism, where the media presents a skewed or one-sided view of the world in order to advance a particular cause or interest. For Christians, this can be particularly problematic, as the media's financial and ideological ties can lead to a suppression of Christian perspectives and values. Finally, the rise of fake news and disinformation has further eroded trust in the mainstream media. The proliferation of false or misleading information has created a culture of confusion and mistrust, where it is increasingly difficult to discern fact from fiction. For Christians, this can be particularly challenging, as the media's penchant for spreading false or misleading information can lead to a distortion of Christian teachings and values. In order to navigate this complex and often treacherous media landscape, Christians must be discerning and critically evaluate the information that they receive, seeking out credible and trustworthy sources that reflect a Christian worldview. In conclusion, the motivations of the mainstream media are often at odds with the values and principles of Christianity. The media's bias against Christianity, lack of understanding and respect for Christian beliefs and practices, obsession with controversy and sensationalism, financial and ideological ties to powerful interests, and role in spreading disinformation all contribute to a lack of trust and credibility. As a result, Christians must be cautious and discerning in the consumption of mainstream media, seeking out alternative sources of information and perspectives that reflect a Christian worldview. By doing so, they can cultivate a more nuanced and informed understanding of the world, and avoid being misled by the often biased and sensationalized reporting of the mainstream media.